I'm Lyn Belisle in my studio, and a friend of mine, Mary Margaret, asked me how to fold an origami crane, and it is a little complicated to try and do it when you just look at a piece of paper and read directions. So I'm going to do it for you and show you how I teach it. First of all, you're going to fold it in half diagonally. I call this the diaper fold. And then you're going to fold that in half again, so you're essentially making two triangles. And then you're going to stand up these little wings like this and run your finger up inside of them like that and flatten them out so that all the points come together. One thing about origami is that normally you do everything on the other side. So now flip it over and you'll see you have another little wing here. Hold that up to the center like that. Put your finger inside of that. Kind of have to pull the corners together. And then flatten those out like this. This is not an exact science, but we'll approximate it here. There we go. Okay, so now you have a square, but it has some little legs underneath. Okay, next step is to take these corners and expose those legs. I call this the mountain fold. So you're going to fold that up to make a little mountain, and then of course do it on the other side. Like that. Okay, the next fold is called the Kite Fold. And you have to make sure that your legs are pointing toward you, like this. You see the two separate legs? Well, you're going to take this side and fold it along the legs, and you're essentially making the shape of a kite. On the left side, and on the right side. And then, as we do in origami, flip it over, make sure the legs are down, and make a matching kite fold back in the other direction on the other side, like this, and like this. Okay, so now we have our kite. We're getting ready for a fold that I call the hard fold, and it is kind of tricky. But in order to make it easier, we make a marking fold along the top of this little triangle right here by folding it down like this, and then flipping it over and folding it back like this, so that this wiggles kind of back and forth. Now here's the hard fold. This is the one that people have difficulty with from looking at instructions. You need to put your finger here on the little top and then open this up. You fold this back against the fold that you have just made. Like that. Sorry, I started folding it wrong. You hold it here. Okay? Fold it back. And then these ends really will turn inside. I call this kind of like the canoe fold too, because it makes sort of like a canoe shape. And you can manipulate these little corners so that what you get is a flat thing like that. Probably it was a little hard to follow, so I'm going to do it again on the other side. I'm going to flip it over. Just ignore this part. We've already done that. Lift this up and find that little triangle right there that you folded before on the marking fold. Open out these flaps and push back here. Remember the canoe fold. Fold it in. Make your lines match up, and it will if you just be persistent. And then you get this particular thing. Now at this point, this is called the crane base. And the crane base can be turned into all kinds of animals and shapes, but we're making an actual crane. Once again, make sure the legs are pointing toward you. And then you're going to fold each side in like this and like this. See how that's a narrower shape, a narrower crane base. Flip it over. Fold each side in like this and like this. Now here's the very last tricky part, because you almost have a crane here. You hold it up and then kind of slip your finger in between the 2 points, and you kind of backwards fold this up. Sometimes you have to wrestle with it a little bit, so that you push this inside out and even it up with the line of the crane base. It's not quite far enough. There it goes. The line of the crane base right there. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's even with the line of the crane base. And then you turn it over and you do it on the other side. Now I'm using typing paper just so the folds will show, but when you use a thinner origami paper, it will work much better. However, this is a pretty respectable crane. He's got a little bit of a wonky tail, but then what you do is press down here and crease his head in like that. And then you have your crane, and you can put one wing down, or both wings down, or you can open him out, or you can blow him up. And there's your crane. Thank you very much.